So my name is Burak Gunay. I'm an associate professor in the Department of Civil and Environmental Engineering and the director for the Building Engineering program. So I'm the team lead for climate and environmental impacts for the Safe and Affordable project. There are existing housing archetypes that are used by the building energy codes, building codes committees, basically, and those archetype models, they don't really differentiate different household typologies. So one thing that I'm doing is essentially we're looking at how suitable these existing housing archetypes to represent the Canadian population in general. So in that sense, what we have done was basically we looked at various open data sources like the time use surveys to develop household behavior models. Essentially, those models represent how we use our electrical appliances, how we use energy overall in our homes. And in parallel from the physical infrastructure of housing, we developed a new methodology for looking at housing archetypes. And we demonstrated that using a data set that we acquired through another colleague of ours, Maya Papino, from economics for the city of Medicine Hat in Alberta. So essentially, we're using these new archetype models and the new household behavior models to study things like the risk of overheating during heat waves, for example, and the difference between how we do things from the traditional archetypes is that we recognize that there's different likelihoods that low-income households will be living in different housing typologies. They might be living in smaller houses. They might be living in more crowded settings. They may not have access to some of the technologies like air conditioning in their homes. We're studying how overheating might be affecting these households in particular during heat waves. So and look at different passive retrofit strategies that can be applied and adapted by organizations, basically. Some of the things that we look at is essentially, as I mentioned, passive design strategies. So especially when it comes to passive design strategies, like the risk of overheating in low-income homes, affordable homes, is actually reflective coatings, for example, and choosing the right type of envelope, right window types, and the insulation levels, and providing enough opportunities for enough adaptive opportunities that opportunities for like cross ventilation, being able to open windows on two opposite sides and so on. So these types of things that we look at specifically in tackling overheating issues, in particular resilience for heat wave events, basically. While these models, the archetype models exist, and they've been developed by Natural Resources Canada, the variety has been represented more in terms of the physical condition of the homes, like physical characteristics of the homes, but not so much about what's the likelihood of a low-income household and different household typologies occupying each of these archetypes, for example. So it's kind of building upon that, essentially.